Hey there. Welcome back to the Surge 2. We are still in Gideon's Rock, and we are still on our quest to deliver this big gribbly brain we picked up to the mysterious benefactor who's requested it of us. Or I guess, technically requested it of the hunters, but there's not really that many more of them running around these days. We've kind of exhausted their numbers. Speaking of which, one last pit stop before we head over to the Creo Institute of Technology. See how our pals are doing. Roach? What's new, friend?
I ain't in a talking mood.
Okay, fair enough. And it looks like all our other friends have fled the coop, apparently running off to safety and leaving me to fight the Delver myself. How brave of them. But that's fine, because it means I get to keep the other half of the reward. Remember, we were supposed to share it with them, but we have the option to not do that. After all, they just decided to leave us to our own devices here, so we can make our own choices in life. And why, what's this?
Well, what have we here? I thought we captured every last kid in this damn city.
Let me go!
Shut up, you little brat. AID response will pay you a shitload of money to get their mitts on you.
Okay, well that's unfortunate. Apparently Athena was never here in the first place, and this was all a fool's errand. But I guess we might as well deliver the brain anyway while we're here. I've heard some interesting things about the Creo Institute of Technology from some folks around the game world. I'd like to see it for myself. Specifically the inmates who are running the asylum, let's say. First things first, though. We finally have something to do with these lost seeds. After a conversation with this eerily familiar-looking robot. Yeah, it's nice to meet you too. Can't understand a word of what you said. There's kind of a language barrier kind of thing going on, but you look familiar. I feel like I've seen you somewhere before. Right. Yeah, I'll get right on that. I mean, we've been carrying these things around for like 3 or 4 episodes now, so... let's do it. I've always admired gardening. It's a nice hobby to have. Very calming, very pleasant. Zen-like in some way. I wonder if robots have the ability to feel the concept of Zen. Do you like to go with the flow, garden craft? Tell me. Apparently so. Short quest. But we got a familiar friend out of it. Boy, it is just a walk down memory lane these days with the weapons we're picking up, huh? And of course, one of my favorite audio logs in the game.
Hey, Tin Can, quit that ruckus and get to work.
How rude. Some people have no manners. I feel like the robots are nice around here if you get to know them. We haven't met any particularly homicidal robots so far, just ones that are acting according to their programming, let's say. Currently, their programming says to try and kill me, but as they are Creo technology, maybe we're in the neighborhood to do something about that, perhaps turn the tides. Yep, this place was made by Creo, alright. Oh, hey, Harold. You're voice line didn't trigger there, which is odd, but nice to see you again.
Welcome to the Creo Institute of Technology. Excellent. My scanners detect a fresh pulsating brain made out of nanite structures. Master Gutenberg will see you now. Please be patient with him.
Master Gutenberg, you say? Okay. Speaking of homicidal robots, let's just hope that thing stays up there where it belongs. I have had enough security tripods for one lifetime. Or one adventure, as it were, I guess. It's been a while since we've seen any of those. And boy, this place is huge. Scenic, although not much of a campus, really. Unless the entire forest is supposed to be the campus.
Laboratory.
Man, and I guess the boss man is home, too. I don't know what to expect. I mean, Jonah Gutenberg, in the flesh.
Warning. Unusually high nanite levels detected. Security protocols activated. Initiating lockdown immediately.
I mean, go for it. This big nanite brain thingamajig is going to be off my hands soon enough. We've got more important things to deal with here today at the Creo Institute. Specifically, we finally get to have a meeting with Ringo Starr.
Security lockdown? What the hell is going on? Oh, of course. You must be that hunter Harold keeps blathering on about. Looks like you've salvaged the nanobrain.
Indeed I have. It's nice to finally meet you, by the way. Don't ask where I was keeping that thing.
My scanners went haywire when you barged in here. Your nanite readings are way off the charts. Quite peculiar, isn't it? You seem in perfect health. I don't think you're infected with defrag or anything like that. You're quite the enigma, my friend. Luckily, I consider myself a mystery solver. I have to be. I created this whole mess and only I can stop it. Tell me, have you noticed anything unusual about yourself lately?
Well, Doc, where do I start? It's been a hell of a year for all of us, including the characters in this universe as well.
Please forgive me. I've had a lot on my mind lately. My name's Gutenberg. Jonah Gutenberg. Seems like the whole world knew me when I was running Creo. Anyway, I don't need the limelight.
That's okay. It turns out the limelight is actually pretty overrated. How do you fancy some impromptu therapy?
Wait. What? Impossible. I thought I was the only one. I've been seeing the strangest things ever since Athena, my granddaughter, perished in a plane crash. I thought my grief was playing tricks on my mind.
Well, actually, I've got good news for you. I was not the only survivor of the plane crash. Turns out she may very well still be alive. Those two things may actually be related.
What? Athena is alive? And you can sense her that clearly? I've never been able to make out even one blasted thing. It's like there's a thick fog between us. Poor kid must have been out there all along, trying to reach me. And I failed her. I hired those damn hunters only to have them stab me in the back. AID have been scouring the whole city for kids, pretending they found a cure for defrag. I don't believe those ignorant fools for a second. If there were even the faintest whiff of a remedy, I would have discovered it long before them.
You know, good on you for maintaining confidence in a stressful situation. I can see why you were the head of Creo.
Apparently not. If you can, there seems to be a much stronger connection between the two of you. I just don't understand what it could be. Athena and I are family. We share the same genetic code. You're nothing but a stranger she met by happenstance. Sorry, no offense.
That's okay. I actually prefer being a stranger in a strange land. It's kinda how these adventures go for me, usually. But okay.
I'm glad you agree. I've been isolated up here for far too long. Apart from Harold, you seem to be my only ally. If we want to rescue Athena, we have to strike without warning. They must be keeping her at their R&D facility with all those other kids. I used to run Creo, so I have the highest government clearance. Take my keycard and talk to Harold. He'll tell you where to go next. In the meantime, I'll deactivate the lockdown manually. Promise to come back once Athena is safe and sound, and I'll find out what's wrong with you.
Oh, don't you worry. I was already on my way. Boy, but you seem like a font of knowledge, so let's poke you while we're here.
Athena is my only granddaughter. I've never been a family man, though. She hardly knows me. I invited her to visit, so this is all my fault. Thought a change of scenery might do her some good. And now, look what happened.
I'm not going to say it was your fault, but I will say that messing with nanites seems to have a recurring theme of unfortunate outcomes here in the Surge.
They wouldn't even exist without me. I'm responsible for this mess, and I'll be the one to fix it. But don't get the wrong idea. I'm not doing this because I enjoy it. I'm doing it because nobody else can.
Well, I appreciate you taking charge, I guess. Someone around here has to. I just cut off people's limbs.
Somewhere downtown. That's about as much as I remember. It's been ages since I even set foot outside CIT. Harold should be able to point you in the right direction. His memory has been failing lately, but he's still an invaluable resource.
Ironically, it sounds like someone should be defragging him, if anything. But okay. Sounds good to me.
Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now, Jonah Gutenberg.
Even
Oh
Creo
boy.
wouldn't be able to make something this advanced.
Oh, it's so nice to meet him in person. Wow. Well, we got a bevy of goals now. We gotta head to AID Command, look for Athena, find out if they really have found a way to stop this defrag that's causing people to the surge en masse. But look at this, it's the Proteus robots. Got them on display here just because remembering the horrible nanite zombie apocalypse is important, I guess, to Creo's history. May we never forget the mistakes made by our ancestors lest we repeat them, or something like that. Or, alternatively, the terrible, terrible progress of science marches on. Ethical dilemmas included. One of those two. Who knows? By the end of this, we may be wearing the Proteus suit on our own body just like old times. Guess only time will tell. Hey Harold, how you doing, buddy?
Welcome back, friend. Master Gutenberg sent me all the data. The AID labs are located in the Liang Bay Hospital. You may be able to find an entrance via the evacuation camp. The camp is right next to the Great Wall. Good luck, friend. You'll need it. Stiff upper lip activated.
Voteofconfidence.exe has run successfully. Thank you, Harold. So I guess it's back to the outskirts of the city then, since we need to travel along the wall in order to get to AID Command. Which, hey, that means we're finally going to go meet Ben Burke. Remember, at the very, very beginning of the game, Ben Burke told us to meet him at, he told us to meet him at the Great Wall. What was it, Checkpoint Bravo or something like that? Boy, it's been so long, it feels like it's been months. If only I had some plot direction. Oh well, too bad we don't. Guess we'll just have to make our own way there. See, were I so inclined, this is where I would do like a flashback to previous episodes because it's been so damn long between episodes of this series. It's gonna be like 2025 before this Let's Play is over. This is probably the longest Let's Play I've ever done in the raw time it has taken to put out videos. But I promise, they're gonna come a little bit more frequently from here. What's interesting is this is where the Surge 2 gets a little bit more linear. You see, until this point, we have been able to go basically anywhere, which Phil and I talked about a little bit when we were talking about how Gideon's Rock can be different between playthroughs, right? There's certain things that change, and on the first episode with Michael and Phil, we talked about going to Gateway Bravo right off the bat, and they were uncertain if it was possible or not. I can confirm that it is. We could have gone to Gateway Bravo, and even all the way through AID Command, right at the start of the game, and we would have eventually hit a plot barrier. And now we're going to that plot barrier. We needed that key card from Jonah Gutenberg in order to get past wherever we're going to go next. So we could have gone there, but it would have been a little too hard to really be worth it, in my opinion.
Oh, I need to talk to you.
And apparently Harold's got some more info for us too, so really we're just taking everything out in one fell swoop. Yes?
Ah, I see you've made your way through the hostile ruins of Jericho City once more. I have been instructed to guide you to the utmost of my ability.
I'm fine with that, although I am kind of wondering how you got here before me, because that's kind of strange.
Not at all, friend. In fact, I'm not really here. With my cloud-based AI, I can talk to you through a variety of interfaces. It's one of many reasons why known experts consider AI-based life forms like me superior beings. Of course, it is not my place to judge others.
I guess to be fair, you and I share about the same speech impediment, so we are actually similar in many ways.
Worse and worse, friend. It feels like there's someone in my thoughts, watching every step I make, trying to steal my secrets. If Master Gutenberg's research gets in the wrong hands, I predict certain doom. Of course, I'm just a service software without the capacity for individual thought.
Well, it sounds like you should at least learn how to internalize, because whatever's hacking you probably isn't very friendly to either of us.
There, friend. I will support you with my superior sense of direction. You should be able to see a nanite vortex from the city center. If you approach it, you'll find a refugee camp erected on the old highway. From there, AID Command will be just a stone's throw away. Of course, I'd advise you to equip a more effective weapon.
Head toward the nanite vortex. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Let's do it.
Good luck out there, friend. Initiating recovery mode.
Yeah, you kind of seem like you could use it these days. We do have one more thing to do before we get the show on the road, though. I gotta craft some armor pieces. Because remember this gentleman over here at the bar, I believe his name is Highball. I don't know, it's been like 5 years since we last talked to him. He wanted a set of the Gaia armor. And conveniently enough, we fought just enough of the Gaia protection robots in Gideon's Rock to get the whole set. But much like when people requested outfit parts in the first game, you need to actually physically be carrying them around. So we need to craft a full set real quick. Honestly, there's not a whole lot for us to do here right now. I've got a whole lot of tech scrap, but leveling up is starting to get quite prohibitively expensive. The good news is, we have unlocked the ability to respec our module points, so now, if I ever want to change my character to be a little bit less jack-of-all-trades, we can do that on the cheap. Which is nice. I like how easy it is to respec in this game, compared to certain other games that are similar to, I don't know, some kind of Souls-like in appearance and execution. Oh, I got what you need, pal.
Is it getting breezy in here, or are you a breath of fresh air? Come on, show me what you got.
Very nice. That is smooth as silk. As a pickup line, I ought to try that sometime. Although maybe it'll get me slapped in the face. This highball guy seems like he gets slapped in the face a lot. And if you were to slap him in the face, I feel like your hand would come away greasy. Got some new stuff in stock for us, though. We could buy the Wraith gear now, which is the advanced hunter set. It's the set that it's not technically the set that the hunters are wearing. It is the set that Warren is wearing, sort of. I'll explain next time we meet him in person.
That's it. I got everything I need. Well, this is rather exciting, isn't it? With this armor, I can take on anything. Raring and ready to go. I'll be off soon. You've earned yourself a hell of a reward.
Thank you. I will be sure to put it to good use, although this won't be the first time we've done so, actually.
Don't keep me hanging. Find anything?
Not quite yet. But I'll have you know I'm on my way there now.
See ya.
Our reward for completing that little quest for Highball is codenamed Gotterdammerung. Nope, I'm not getting any better.
Your mission is all that matters, my friend. Tag like your life depends on it.
It's another weapon from the first game. Hey Tala, how you doing?
Well, let's see. Tag Gideon's rock. Awesome. So counting everything up, that's 1 tag down and 5 to go? Oh well, it's a start. Keep the struggle alive, friend. Our revolution won't be contained.
My commentary will be contained, though, because every 5 minutes I'm being interrupted by a new and interesting conversation with an NPC. I gotta give credit to Deck 13. This game has a whole hell of a lot of dialogue with NPCs. They have so many things to say about so many different subjects and so much dialogue for every step of their individual quest lines. It's really cool, but it also kind of stifles me a little bit as a Let's Player. I kind of have to cram in the things that I want to say. But the good news is, between here and Gateway Bravo, we've got a little time to talk about happenings in the plot, past and future. And I guess present, but hold that thought, we've got one more audio log to pick up before we can do that. And it's another one of my favorites. But this time, like, unironically, not like in the jokey robot voice way.
A massive gentrification initiative transformed Jericho City's former red light district into what's now known as Gideon Plaza. Explore hundreds of galleries with brightly lit windows, buy everything you'll ever need, and enjoy miles of malls to treat yourself. And if you remember this district from the good old days, why not buy your wife a gift? This time without remorse.
Hey, there you go. You wanted some of that cold, bitter satire from the Surge 1. There you go. Occasionally they remember. And you may remember that on our way to Gideon's Rock in the first place, we passed by this gate. And now we can just sneak right over top of it.
They've installed scanner gates everywhere. It's like we're nothing but lab rats now. This is the end game. And they always wanted a way to segregate us. Now they've finally got their wish. This is going to get worse. Much worse. Soon they'll kill us off one by one. It always starts like this. I can't wait any longer. There are still some secret escape routes. I have to get out of here.
I admire your gung-ho attitude. Maybe we'll join you, with Athena in tow. And now also, I guess, Jonah Gutenberg. How about that for a plot twist? I was kinda unable to talk about it at the time, but how interesting that they decided to show Jonah Gutenberg in person. The first game made a pretty big deal out of never showing the face of Creo. And if you looked in some little corners, some promotional materials, you could find some kind of stock photograph that purported to be Jonah Gutenberg. But in the game itself, he was never really given a face. To put a face to the voice or a face to the company. You know, it's part of the whole By the time Warren woke up, everything had already happened and you're just exploring the wreckage, right? It added to the themes of the game to have Gutenberg be absentee, even though he's so integral to Creo as a facility, right? To Creo as a thematic kind of thing. And so it's interesting that they just put him and his Ringo Starr looking ass right in front of you and have you talk at length with him about his personal responsibility or culpability in what happened. It's fascinating. It is an interesting decision, not the one that I would have made. And the idea that Athena is related to Jonah Gutenberg is, I promise, it may seem pretty coincidental, but I promise it's not. It all ties back in. It's just so interesting to me. Just the way they are mixing past and present here. For example, oh, here I go, I have to pronounce it again. We are getting the chance to see codename Gotterdamerung. We're getting the chance to see it, not all gribbly nanified. You may remember, it's like the last weapon that you pick up in the Surge 1, and it's just a big hunk of gribbly nanites. But here, it will assist us in our sneaking mission. Or lack thereof. Okay, so you can sneak your way through all the way to Gateway Bravo. And we're probably going to show it off at some point because we will be back through here a couple of times, this specific road, but come on. It's the Surge. It's more fun to use all my sweet acrobatic moves and just dive right in. The game puts you directly above an enemy that you can jump like 10 feet straight down on and hit him in the head with a hammer. Why would you not? Why would you ever pass up that opportunity? Come on now. And I'm not really sure entirely what the purpose of this is.
Error. Scanner gates offline.
But from the opposite sides of these scanner gates, you can use your starfish drone to turn them off, and then they don't draw enemies when you walk through them. But the weird thing, maybe they've changed this in patches since I recorded this, but the weird thing is that they reset when you go through area transitions. So there's not really any point. Because by the time you use the starfish drone, you're already past the gate and you don't need to go back through. Like, maybe if they stayed turned off in between areas, I don't know. Maybe they do now, I'm not sure, but when I played this, they reset, so I didn't quite see the point. I mean, but with that said, it's cool that you can. I'll never turn down, like, extra gameplay possibilities, even if the way that they can be utilized moment to moment is perhaps, I don't know, lackluster. So I was taking a look around. I apologize, I was in the middle of a sentence, you may have to rewind. Up there on the highway above us is where Gateway Bravo is. I really like the way that this area is kind of designed. It's almost shaped around the urban destruction. The destroyed, crumbled buildings and the, you know, this stuff like this underpass with hastily erected barricades, right? I really like the way this all seems very, it all seems very spur of the moment, very hasty.
Damage detected.
I mean, the nanite vortex probably just showed up one day, right? Like, it's not like a tornado where you have, like the sky turns gray and the wind gets all still, meteorologists going nuts. Nothing like that. I imagine that once the Creo rocket collided with the plane at the start of all of this nonsense, the vortex just kind of followed suit. Like, how do you really prepare for a nanite zombie apocalypse? It doesn't really seem like something that disaster preparedness really plans for. Although who knows, right? I guess in the Surge, you gotta remember that Creo is a household name. You know, Warren's significant other, she was talking about how she had a Creo washing machine at home. And that's a weird thing to consider. What happens if a washing machine gets affected by a wayward the Surge? Maybe I don't want to know. Maybe I don't want to know about the washing machine's part in the Creo Surge uprising. I apologize, by the way, if I seem a little off the wall, a little scatterbrained. It's just that it's been so long now since I've recorded one of these proper Let's Play format commentary sessions. A lot has changed recently. I moved to a new house. I essentially completely uprooted my life and my responsibilities, which, if you haven't watched my update video I put out, that's why I've been gone for so long. But I will be getting back to it, with more episodes with Phil and Michael if he can stand to be around me. And we got a lot of positivity in the future. We can only move upward from here. I gotta tell you, especially in the universe of the Surge, there are people that are having a worse day than I am. Like that man whose leg I have just chopped directly off. These guys are wearing an interesting twist, almost, of the Nano Ward set from the first game. We'll talk about that later.
Medical diary, number 15, Dr. Sorensen. This goddamn evacuation has been progressing at a snail's pace. We need to treat everybody before it's too late, but the government is paralyzed. Of all the slurs I can think of, politician is by far the worst. Yesterday, the first wave of survivors was transferred to a camp outside Jericho City. I should have gone with them. I can't leave before I finish this fucking mess of a job. The goddamn patients need me more than ever.
Well, I appreciate sticking to your responsibilities, the Hippocratic Oath and all of that stuff. I mean, someone's gotta stick around to maintain order when these AID guys inevitably bung it up. Possibly because I'm going through dismembering them like some kind of AID Grim Reaper. But to be fair, they kinda seem like jerks anyway. They are upholding the law in the loosest sense, the loosest and most violent sense. And honestly, I feel that log specifically has a lot of relevance to the real world. Boy, especially these days, huh? This conversation's gonna get awkward and dated. These are the types of people that you really should be thanking for their sacrifice. Martial law, who cares about martial law? Extend a hand to your doctors, your EMTs, your medical professionals, ER staff who stay during, I don't know, particularly apocalyptic and uncertain times. Scenarios where nobody is sure what is truly the best for the common good, only that we must find a way to cooperate and survive. Those people who stay because they feel they have a moral obligation to, instead of just because the government told them to. Those are the people you should be thanking, not these assholes running around trying to control things with their guns and their giant spiky nanite maces. Am I still talking about the Surge? I think I am. I don't think we have nanite maces in real life yet. What an interesting day that'll be, though. Still, viva la revolution in more ways than one. This area counts. We're laying down a graffiti sign. We're making our way there. Supposedly only 4 main areas left to go. And hey, look! It's another one of these DLC costume Black Cerberus guys. Bop. Once you trigger the first world state change, well, I guess it's the second. Once you trigger the second major world state change by talking to Jonah Gutenberg, this is where the DLC urban gear guys move to. stuff kind of gets shuffled around after you go to Gideon's Rock, and it's really interesting that you can do it in basically any order. Once we actually reach AID Command, we'll talk a little bit more about the clever way this game reconvenes the paths in a way that feels natural no matter how you decide to go about it. Point of fact, there are actually 3 ways that we could have gotten to this point in the plot where Gateway Bravo is our final destination so far. And it'll be interesting to explore the alternate paths going forward because, believe it or not, The Surge 2 is far, far from over. AID Command may seem like our final destination, but it's not the executive forum from The Surge 1. Oh no, it is merely another pit stop on our journey to find Athena. And so, as we chop off one more head for good measure, or maybe I'm going for the body this time, I will bid you farewell. Thank you very, very much for sticking with me through the months and months and months I have been gone, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back. And I will see you all next time for more of The Surge 2, when we finally meet up with our pal Ben Burke at Gateway Bravo, with another episode featuring our pal Phil. Take care, everybody. I'll see you next time.